Alright, so after like 3 months, we have finally updated to a new version of Staff Plus, and this version is way better than the last one, and everything is pretty much revamped. Most of the bugs are gone, we hope. So I'm just going to run through all the features that we have on here because showing you every single feature would take like an hour. So we'll just run through all the help commands we have. So staff mode, pretty obvious. We have the compass, we have random teleport, and there's something new with this. What you can do is, if you have the option enabled, it will cycle through players. So obviously only Delirium and I are the only ones on here, so it'll only go to him. But if there were two other players on here, it would cycle through them instead of randomly teleporting, which would result in the same person being teleported to over and over. So that's good for some people. You have the vanish. You can see it changes your vanish. There is a GUI hub now. You can change the color of these because why not? There's the unresolved report still. I'll go ahead and show you this in a little bit. And then there's a minor GUI. So if you're under the set Y value in the config, you will show up on this. So the value is 16 on the config. So you see I'll show up here and you click on the person and it'll teleport you to them. Freeze, exactly what you think it is. It's just like every other freeze. There's a CPS test as well, but since he is on Mind Chat, there's no way he's gonna click, so I'll go ahead and run CPS test on myself. Alright, so it'll say if it's over the configured amount. So if it's like 16, for example, it'll say that it's a dangerous amount because, I mean, who clicks at 16 CPS? And you have examine, which is the same as the last examine. You can see all of the different things. You can disable, enable these, whatever, each one. Location will teleport you to them. This is new. You can type in a note about the players. So when I type in test, it'll do that. And you can just say something like alt account, so other staff can look at it and tell whatever is about this player. And you also freeze the player from there. Pretty simple. And if I remove my thing, you can go and see how the inventory is represented. This is the hotbar, this is the contents, and that's the item in hand, and then the armor would be showed there if there was any armor on. But yeah, there is one more thing. There is the follow, which is exactly the same, except you can actually click the player to unfollow them now instead of having to press L shift. And there's also a big new thing is actually custom modules. Unlike before, you couldn't really customize too much, so you can add as many custom modules as you want, and there are 4 types. This is the static command, which just executes the same command every time. So this execute /fly. And then you have a dynamic command, which will execute with clicked, which will replace with the click player, and clicker, which will replace with the person that clicked the player. So as you can see, I can ban him by doing that. Of course, I'm going to pardon him. You can also add regular items. So this is a save regular world edit wand. And also you can just have a console command. So since I don't have permission to type out staff disable, you can just have console execute it and it'll do that for you. Alright, so we have freeze. Let me go and get Delirium back. Okay, so whenever we freeze them, it will do exactly what you think it does, except if you type in disable and you have op or staff.star, which is staff plus, so op permission, you will always disable the thing. So if you want to make sure that you're disabling freeze for this player, you can do that. Of course, it doesn't tell you because it's expected to be a console command that's executed. I'll probably add output if people really want it, but there's no need for it. You guys already saw examine. CPS, you already saw that. SC, it toggles staff chat. And if you type it again, it toggles it off. If you do SC and then a message, it'll send that. And then also, you can do a handler. So for example, since the handler is the @ sign, any message starting with the @ sign will be sent to staff chat. You also have report, just like before. It will tell the person that reported them this, and then it will tell staff this message, and it plays a sound as well, so pretty nice. And also, going back to the unresolved reports, you can see that this is here now. When you click on it, it teleports you to that player, and it marks it as resolved, so it's no longer there. What else is there? Report get, yeah, as you can see, shows the 2 reports, and then whenever you clear it, it is no longer there. Whoa. You can warn this player, which just warns them, and if they reach a certain amount that you set in config, it will ban them automatically with your set ban command, and warn clear and warn get all work the same. You have vanish. Syntax for this is a bit different. You can type vanish total, which will put you in vanish total. This makes you completely invisible to the other player. It's basically like you aren't even on the server. So whenever I enable that for Deliriant, he isn't even on the tab list or anything. So it's pretty much like he's not even on the server. That's why it's called vanish total. You can also do disable, so this will always disable vanish total no matter what. You can do vanish list, which isn't necessarily working for 1.7. As you can see, it only sets the player's tab thing to nothing. In 1.8 all the way up to 1.10, it's supposed to remove that player from tab list, and they would still be visible in game. Also, it says some offline in the staff list, or we can set them to away if you want to. It does whatever you want to have it as configured as. We also have chat clear, pretty obvious. Chat toggle. Anyone who doesn't have permission to toggle the chat can't chat. Chat slow, so chat slow, and then the seconds, so 30 seconds. So if someone was spamming, of course I can spam because I have the permission to slow the chat. If someone who doesn't have permission to do this and they start chatting really fast, they will not be able to chat, and they'll be slowed down for a few seconds as long as that timer is still going. And of course, if you want to disable chat slow, all you have to do is chat slow 0. I might change that later if people don't like it, but really, it's really easy to disable it. You have ticket, which is new, so I'll go ahead and have Deliriant send in the ticket. So as you can see, he sent in test, so I'll go ahead and tell him respond one what, and then that sends it to him. And whoa, that's strange. Did I? Yeah, that's bugged out. I'll go ahead and fix that later. But it's supposed to say short ninja and then what. I'll go ahead and fix that later. But as you can see, he can respond to it, and I can keep telling him stuff. And since it's bugged out, clearly I need to fix that. Anyways, you can close a ticket once you guys resolve your little problem, and you have to put a reason, by the way. So just put the reason, and then it will tell both of the players that the ticket has been resolved. Okay, we have alerts. And by the way, the bugs that you guys saw, those usually will be fixed within like a few hours or so once I find them. It's just that this plugin just got finished like a few hours ago, and all the issues that come up will be aren't noticed yet because I haven't tested everything completely. Anyways, alerts. Name change is pretty obvious. All you have to do is type it in, and then it'll disable it or enable it. And then mention. The alerts for this is kind of obvious. Whenever someone types in your name in chat, sends you a message. And of course, if I disable that, it does not notify me. Well, you have alerts X-ray. Let me make sure these are on. So these are way better than the last version. So you can see whenever we mine up a vein, it will get the entire vein. So I think see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it won't notify you again about that location unless it's new or the notified list has been cleared after a certain amount of time. We also have follow, which is exactly what it was before in the thingy. I'll type it again to unfollow. And there's revive, so whenever I kill myself, it will save that inventory. You can see whenever I pick up things, it'll clear it once I revive myself. Whoa. And this only saves one inventory, so you can't like go back 3 inventories or something like that. I might implement that in the future if people want it, but right now you only go back 1 inventory. So every single time you die, the only inventory you can restore is that inventory you had when you died. We have personnel. You already saw that. That just shows all the staff members online right now. And it's usually staff list or list, but I didn't want anyone's command things to be, overridden. But with this version, just the extra things that come out with this, there is now language support. So you can edit every single message that is sent to a player, except for a few things. I don't think you can edit. You can't edit these, which I might add in the future if people really, really want them, but you can't edit these yet. Pretty much every single message that's sent you can edit though. There's also languages, so there's German, Dutch, Spanish, and Swedish, and of course English. So you can select a language if you don't speak English natively or something, and you don't have to translate anything on your own. Of course, we're still looking for translators, so if you're French, please message me, because I really need a French translator. There's also version independence, so this plugin will work from 1.7 to 1.10 completely, no matter what, as long as there is no bug, which of course, like I said before, this plugin just got finished a few hours ago, so bugs need to be fixed quite frequently. And of course, I'm jumping on those really quickly. As soon as someone messages me, I will be fixing the bug. That'll be the same for a few weeks, and then later on, I might not fix bugs right away, but that's because I have school coming up in a few weeks, so can't really blame me, I guess. Commands, and commands are completely customizable. So if you don't want /report to be used in Staff Plus, all you have to do is leave it empty, and you can use some other plugin. You can also have report be like, if you wanted /report to be /hack, it could be /hack. It can be whatever you want, really, as long as it's not legal arguments or legal characters. Let's see here. Pretty sure that's all. There is a blacklist, but that's a long thing to show you. I haven't even enabled it yet. There was going to be scoreboard, but Alex's Glader API was having a terrible memory leak, and I wasn't going to put this into a release version of Staff Plus to kill everyone's server. So I will probably work on my own API to implement, and then there'll be a scoreboard. You guys might remember this in the last version. Since you needed, or because you need protocol lib. Wait, what am I trying to say here? Because of this feature, you need a protocol lib. And basically what it did is whenever you're in staff mode, you would open up a chest and it wouldn't play sound and it wouldn't play the animation. As you can see, it is playing the animation, and as you probably can't hear, it's playing the sound. This will be fixed in the next version. I just have to figure out how to work with a different packet API. I already have a packet API that works, but I'm working on having a customizable version, so you guys don't have to have protocol lib, and you guys can put whatever packet that you want to be modifiable. So if you wanted packet playout block action to be canceled whenever people were in staff mode, which is this packet whenever a chest moves or something like that. All you have to do is add it to the config file and it will be cancelled. So, pretty dank. Oh yeah, original locations. That was there in the last version, but now you can customize it. That's all. Enjoy the plugin.